What's up, everybody? It's a pretty exciting day over here. Just had the first baby snakes of the 2025 season hatch out. It's a very special one for me personally. This is my first ever clutch of tiger rat snakes hatching out. This is a clutch from my Veracruz locality, Mexican tiger rat snakes. I'm super excited about them. I'm excited to share these with you guys, but yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at these babies. All right, so here these guys are. There were 7 eggs in the clutch, and so far 4 of the babies have come out. Hopefully the last 3 have healthy babies still in them, but here they are. They are just absolutely gorgeous. I really wasn't 100% sure what to expect, considering this is my first time hatching them out, but these are huge, robust, very active babies. Then their coloration from day one is just absolutely gorgeous. Different yellow, red, orange tones. Obviously that very heavy Mexicanus pattern. Very curious little guys too. I am absolutely stoked to have hatched these guys out. This has been years in the making for me. I've had Spilotes for about 6 or 7 years now, and breeding them was always a goal from the start. This is definitely a little bit out of season for what they characteristically when they breed. Got the clutch back in October. Kind of unexpected, but I had seen the pair go through some breeding behaviors. They're cohabitated permanently, so in that situation, they kind of can breed whenever they choose to. But got a couple really, really solid locks. I could tell that the female had been developing her follicles. She was getting thicker. Went into a shed, refused a meal, and then just like clockwork, laid a perfect clutch of 7 eggs. Like I said, 3 of them have still to hatch out. If those do yield good, healthy babies, those will probably be the next clip in the video of those guys out of the egg. But I couldn't be happier with these guys. They're just absolutely incredible and really the perfect way to start off the new year. All right, so the whole clutch has now hatched out, and they have all shed and had their first meals. Ended up with 6 big, healthy babies out of the clutch. So after that first clip, 2 additional babies hatched out. And this is one of my holdbacks from the clutch. This is actually the only male. Ended up with 1.5, so kind of a crazy ratio, but I guess for me, a whole lot better than the other way around. And this guy probably has the most vibrant yellow coloration off the bat of the whole clutch, especially early on in the body, where they can have some dirtiness. But this guy is very vibrant, and after his first shed, ended up with a lot more of that kind of orange-red coloration further down the body than it looked like he had prior to his first shed. And so far, I've been absolutely loving having these little guys, raising them up. Took meals very readily after they had their first shed. And they've actually been surprisingly calm, considering that sometimes baby Spilotes can have a little bit of an attitude on them. I will say they definitely are a little wild in their enclosures, but as soon as they come out, they calm right down. And that's really how the adults act as well. Just super visually oriented, kind of nervous energy snakes, but as soon as that they're in your hand, they can get that tail grip and feel comfortable. They calm down and act just like this. And this here is one of the females from the clutch, and a really, really red one at that. Some pretty cool pattern as well. One thing that I really like about some of these guys is the kind of red-orange blushing that they have on their cheeks. I think that's pretty neat. Definitely didn't really know what to expect as far as coloration went on this clutch. Both of the parents are pretty, they're pretty yellow and black for the most part. The male has some kind of red highlights to him. The female, none at all. So the fact that these babies ended up with this amount of red on them was a surprise to me, and one that is, one that I will take because I really, really love that look. It's kind of the look within Mexicanus that I feel like is most sought after, kind of that orange, white, black, kind of tricolored banding down the body. Really, really beautiful female right here. Again, pretty good demeanor on her as well. And yeah, just really, really thrilled about how these babies all came out. Last and most certainly not least is this girl right here. She is my holdback female from the clutch, and just, I mean, to me, completely mind-blowing. Like I said in that earlier female, I didn't really expect a whole lot of orange or red coloration out of this clutch, considering the look of the parents. And when that other female had kind of like a blushed out head, this girl almost has an entirely orange head, which is just absolutely ridiculous. The vibrancy in that color continues all the way down the body into the tail, which in some of these guys can often get a little bit dirty. And just, I mean, I'm absolutely blown away by the snake. This will be a really, really fun one to watch grow up and then hopefully get eggs from one day. She is, I don't know, the epitome of what I could have thought would have been possible from this pairing. She is one that hatched out on the second day. So after that first clip of the 4 babies, and I remember peeking into that egg box, seeing her at first glance and being like, oh my gosh, yeah, that is the one right there. So this is her. She is the, in my opinion, top one of the clutch. A holdback that will be with me for a very long time. Snake that I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to have in the collection. All right, so here is mom of the babies. She is actually really actively shedding right now, so she doesn't look quite as good as she always does, but really, really nice high contrast, kind of lighter to neon yellow and really rich black coloration. And you know, she's decent size. I would say stretched out. She's probably approaching 8 feet long. So, you know, these guys are definitely a good sized colubrid. So you need space for them. Obviously, these cages behind me are their cages. They're 4x2x4. I have pairs cohabitated in there. To me, that's kind of like a good, healthy size, but I wouldn't go any smaller than that for a pair of these guys. Obviously, you can go bigger. They love using vertical space. I've seen zoo exhibits with spilotes in them that are 10 feet tall, and you'll see the snakes at the top of the enclosure. So they're definitely they're great display animals. They move around a lot. And for me, I don't personally have any lizards. To me, these guys are almost kind of like the tree monitor equivalent of snakes with how interactive they are in their displays. As you guys have pointed out in the comments in the first few videos, these guys kind of steal the show behind me. They're always peeking their heads up, seeing what's going on. And that really is how they act 24/7. So it's really cool. These are just kind of a centerpiece of the house. And nothing like walking by, seeing them, you know, acting out some cool behaviors, basking, moving around. They'll sit together a lot. They do really well cohabitated, especially once they're older. And yeah, they're just very fun snakes, ones that I love keeping. And I, you know, I say it all the time. I'll say it again. Spilotes to me are my absolute favorite colubrid for a lot of different reasons. But their size, their beauty, their interactive nature, and their generally calm disposition outside of the enclosure, like you're seeing with her right now. All right, and this here is the dad. He's a little bit bigger than the mom and a little bit more vibrant in coloration. He actually does have a little bit of that red kind of in his mid body, nothing nearly to the degree that the babies have it, but still pretty cool. Like I was saying earlier, I wasn't really expecting that orange coloration in the babies. My only hope is that that's the trait that can kind of be line bred for over time. Um, Really, from what I have seen, these tiger rat snakes seem to become nicer and nicer looking with every successful generation of captive breeding. So, with that said, my only hope is that the further down the line we get, the higher and higher red these offspring can become. But really, just a gorgeous, gorgeous snake, big, robust animal, and just, you know, like I was saying earlier, my favorite colubrid species in an animal like this is exactly why. It's hard to beat that coloration, especially on like a naturally occurring snake, and in such a, you know, such an impressive package as well. These guys are just so large, strong, confident, everything that you could want in a colubrid. They haven't been doing it in this video, but they have this cool behavior where they do these slow, observant tongue flicks. If you guys have seen on my Instagram, I've put up a few videos over time of them doing it. It's a it's a behavior that I feel like some people could see as defensive, but to me, it's just truly a curious behavior. It's them feeling comfortable enough with their positioning to really be observant of their surroundings. And that's a behavior that you don't get out of too many snakes, where their default, most snakes' default is to run or get defensive before anything else. Where these guys truly have this reflex of curiosity, which is something that I really, really like about this species. Part of why I'm so fascinated by them. All right, guys, that's the video. Thank you for checking it out. Hopefully, after this, you've become a little bit more obsessed with spilotes than you already were.
I know that for me, it couldn't be any stronger than it already is. But if you like the video, I drop a new one here every Friday on YouTube. So if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Give it a like, a comment, share the video. All that good stuff is very much appreciated. I have a podcast every Wednesday night on the Trap Talk Reptile Network. It is called Cush's Corner at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys could check that out, that would be much appreciated. Instagram is at Scrub Shepherd, Stephen Cush on Facebook, and Cush Reptile on Morph Market as well if you want to check out what I have available. With all that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you back here next week for a new video.